NFL is connected to Pizzagate. The state of California is Pizzagate. The continent of Europe is connected to Pizzagate. Oh, well, what do you mean? One day.
Hi everyone, that was Zeph Daniels' Pizzagate, and I am your host, Amelia Duran. It is August 27th, 2017, and I am doing Sunday with Lotus instead of lunch with Lotus today. Lotus Justice has been a reoccurring guest on the show. Yeah.
Hello?
So, hi. Welcome.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome to the Porthole to Justice.
So, how are you, madam?
Oh my gosh. So much. I kind of encapsulated like where I'm at. I had Julian Mai Tai on the show this week, and she came on and she shared with us about the protocol that purges parasites out of your system using different qualities of salt and cabbage. It's a salt and cabbage protocol. So that got me on this whole kick of, you know, looking into these parasites and demons and associating these parasites and the transfer, the sexual transfer or eating these contaminated, whether it's flesh or poop or you're sexually transmitting it, you're transmitting these quote unquote parasites which manifest within. I mean, their objective is to take over the host body. So so that was this week on the show.
Yeah, parasitic. Yeah.
Huh?
That was, I mean, I could go on about that. I mean, I could even talk about philosophically. I mean, there's a great author called Kafka, and he wrote the book Metamorphosis.
What is it called? The book?
The Metamorphosis.
Oh,
he speaks
Kafka.
about turning into a cockroach. Yeah, Kafka. You know, I mean, there are many examples of metaphorical science fictions, is what they call it now, but they were really about men kind of, remember, God teaches through allegory and metaphor. Okay, that's how we learn. That's what's embedded in our souls, that we learn through allegory and metaphor. Because times change. We live many times, okay? We live many times. We just don't remember it. Most of us don't, but we live many times. But each time we live, the circumstances of the flesh are not what we're supposed to be trapped in. We're not supposed to live in the flesh because the flesh passes.
You think in terms of like the ritualistic nature that goes along with the transfer of some of these parasites. That's why they promote sodomy. And you know, these rituals go hand in hand with participating in some of the banking system. And when we think
do you think it's like their ID tag, like they can scan you and go, oh, you're only 80% in our slave state with all the manifestations?
Well, no, when we think of like foreign bodies, or we think of alien entities, we think of something outside of our body. We don't think of it being a foreign body, something that coexists with us inside from within.
Let's think about one of the largest science fiction. I keep trying to tell people, it's all about allegory and metaphor. Alien, the movie, the series. Something impregnates you, and it grows, and it plants a seed in you, which is what the Bible speaks of, the seeds of men, but you keep them. And that St. John is a great example to read on the topic of what we're talking about. Everyone should read the first epistle of John, because there are metaphors and allegory abound about what we're talking about here. But they plant a seed in you, and then it grows in your chest, like where your heart would be. In fact, it wraps itself around your heart and feeds off the root of your pith of you. And then it ruptures out of your chest and becomes this demonic evil in the world that eats other people just like you. Okay, like where you came from. And impregnate. It is a parasitic, demonic, evil, superhuman metal, steel, gross thing from the netherworld that puts its seed in you and uses our flesh to perpetuate its growth. That's the metaphor of Aliens, the movie. So if you don't understand that aliens come in any form, even in a spiritual sense, and can manifest through the world as spirits,
they manifest through us.
To me, it's a total possible sense.
And one of the way that evil is able to come into this realm is through pedophilia. It's able to, and the nature of the parasite is to infect younger and younger host bodies. That's the nature of the parasite.
Yeah, because if you can infect it in utero, then you control that entity, that instrument of flesh. It becomes your subservient. You are the master of that flesh instrument. I mean, even in biological senses. And they play with our brains all the time.
Well, no.
I find it very fascinating that that's what you're thinking.
I can see it too. Think of it this way: they are trying to create an artificial womb. Okay.
Right, so that they can come through us, like St. John says in the first epistle of John.
Let me put it to you this way. The hormones that are developed in the mother's body for the gestation of 9 months, those hormones are required for the baby to have a healthy immune system. If the baby does not have a healthy immune system, they cannot fight off the parasites.
Well, not only that, this is even as important.
No, let me finish. They are the perfect host bodies, Lotus.
Well, I understand that, but you're also able, by changing the external hormones that you're being exposed to by the milk and everything. Someone said today, how come transsexuals and bisexuals seem more prevalent today? And I explained to them that the food is causing manifestations in the in utero hormones being released, and there's a very particular hormone called the Mullerian inhibiting hormone that, if it is not produced at the exact right time and at the exact right volume, you get undifferentiated sexual organ children that have kind of an intersex. Their phenotype, their body doesn't match their mind. Like the mind is made for a male, but if that's not in the proper format, he doesn't. The male, every child starts a female, and with the addition of this hormone, morphs, closes itself up, and becomes a male.
Yeah,
so
all of it is,
is
geared towards eliminating or breaking down the immune system so that
right.
the parasite or can take over the host body, because that's the objective. Right. So when you have these abnormalities, then you get the mutated DNA, which Julian Maitai talks about, which causes the Asperger's, fibromyalgia.
Well, fibromyalgia. There's a lot of diseases that really are caused from genetic mutations that are the effect of our interaction with the current world. But here's the beauty that you can tell that they're foreign to us because they don't understand the divinity of the human body. And I explain this to people, and it should give you some solace. The female eggs are derived from your grandmother's exes. So you actually possess 2 generations ago of genetic material in its perfect form when you are made as a child. So the female the genome, the X's that are brought through women, preserve 2 generations. Okay, so you would have to attack 2 generations of the woman, with her having no biofeedback mechanism within the DNA composition of the human genome, in order to actually affect chronic changes or control of the species. I'm getting a call in. We may have to cut this, but
oh no.
So the male brings in the now. Okay, the male brings the. Oh my gosh! Yes, it is Ray.
Hi. Oh my gosh, we just started. Oh, I think I lost her. Did I lose you, Lotus? Okay, well, she'll call me back. So, yeah, this is, I've been with, I had Julian on the show this week, and we talked about, how she will often, she has to deal with the public in regards to educating on her protocol. And she will often find herself, arguing directly with the parasites that are in the host body. So parasites will, they will direct you to eat candida food that will help nourish candida in your body, with sugars, starches, what have you. Oh, here she is. Are you back?
Okay, so it put me on hold, and I haven't used this app, and I couldn't find my way back, but I do actually have to take a call. But what I want to say is that the male sperm, it affects the here and the now. So the men in our species are actually the ones that are being attacked right now, because it's what tells the female egg, when you go into the world, this is what is. And the male X, or XY, his X, that brings the here and the now, because his testes are hanging down there, and they are made every day. Your eggs are born of you the day you are incarnated, if you are the female of our species, and you hold that genetics. The male bring the here and the now. I've got to take this call, but please, I would like to come back.
Okay, all right, I'll stand by. So it's interesting, that she brings up the point the males are being attacked, because they actually are. And if you look online, there's studies being done that this new generation of males have a lower sperm count. And not only is the sexuality being attacked, so that we become either asexual or transsexual or trisexual, pansexual, what have you. They're also directly attacking the family unit. So this is all being perpetuated by an intelligence that is not ours. And one of these parasites that I was researching actually attaches to the reptilian part of our brain. And when the parasite completely takes over the host body will take some of these characteristics on. And that's what we see, I guess, in regards to some of these other, David Icke and some of these other people, which, talk about reptilians. So this kind of all like clicked with me over the last, I don't know, week or so, just putting everything together, combined with what I know, Julian's research, as well as David's research, and then Lotus has lended her knowledge of the legalese and the whole, she's just super, super smart, off the charts smart. So I always like bouncing stuff off of Lotus. So it is Sunday today, and I went out. It rained really hard here in Texas. We had just some really hard rain, but no big hurricane, nothing here. I hope that everybody is able to get resources and help that were affected by the hurricanes. They've been in my prayers. I know that Donald Trump tweeted, I think today, that he was going to try to fly out to Texas if it wasn't too controversial for him to do so that he could help get some of the people that have been affected resources and supplies, which I think is fabulous. A lot of people are not happy about him being hands-on like that. I think it's great, personally, and I want as many people as possible to benefit from his presence. So I hope he's able to make the trip. I got attacked in the social media news network today by a woman named Jamie Pettit, and it was almost like she was like from the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. All I did was post that, I hope that, people in Texas that were affected by the hurricane are able to get resources and help by the president flying into Texas. And boy, I was attacked. She posted the social media news network everywhere on her wall, and she was saying that, I am supporting Trump, the social media news network, and promoting freedom. Well, gosh, I am promoting freedom. I'm all for freedom. I'm all for, preserving our Constitution and some of the things that made our country great, and the reason why so many, migrate here legally. And I think it's wonderful. I love and I respect all different cultures, and I particularly miss the different types of food, though, because we don't have as many different types of foods here to pick from in Texas. A lot of barbecue versus California when I lived in California, but a lot of barbecue, a lot really great Greek food restaurants around here, though. Excellent Greek food. And yesterday I went to, let's see, while I'm waiting for Lotus to join us back. Yesterday I went to farmer's market with my son, and I met this really nice man. Oh my gosh. He had, you guys, killer cheese. It was so good. It's a Brazos Valley's cheese, and it's really an art, the way that he makes these cheeses and the different flavors and the smoky undertones, and there's like hickory, and I think I bought Munster cheese, and I bought a truffle cheese. And it was intoxicating, is all I can say. It was just absolutely out of this world delicious. And I really want to thank him, because I bought some truffle cheese and some really good cheese and crackers. And you can go to brazosvalleycheese.com. So that was my first farmer's market experience here yesterday. And we went to go see Today we went to go see the Bruce Lee film, which I thought it was really good. It shed a different light on the different practices of Kung Fu and the influence in Bruce Lee's style. And I thought it was a good movie, and I thought it was very informative on the different styles of Kung Fu and the Chinese martial arts. I love the Chinese culture, and I thought it was a good movie. So it was PG-13. It's not too terribly deep, but it was good for my son because he's taking a Kung Fu, or Shaolin Kung Fu, and yeah. So let's see if we can get Lotus back. Oh, she has me on hold, you guys. Oh boy, I am not good at streaming, just like talking about whatever to fill the air like Zeph Daniels is on the Zeph Report. He can stream consciousness like non-stop for hours. I love listening to his show when I'm doing things, because I think that's what I love about radio, is you can listen to radio and you can be doing other things. You can be driving in your car. You can be at home doing, you can be working. You can be doing whatever, and you can be listening to radio. So I've always loved radio, and I think it's, and I think I like it too because I'm so imaginative. So it kind of allows me that room to use my imagination. So yeah, that's why I like talk radio, and that's why I do radio. It's another medium for me to communicate, and I think that's what I like about memes and art and any kind of medium that I can get my hands on to be able to bridge gaps of communication to lots of different people, that can be informed or moved or affected by, all the different mediums that are available to us to communicate different ideas and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, I am just totally kind of chatting away here. Yeah, so it's a nice weekend here in Texas. I am not next to the coast, thank goodness. And so myself and my son, we weren't affected by the weather. But I do pray that everybody that was affected is okay. And yeah, I'm just sitting here. My son is still at the arcade, and I'm sitting here with Kofifi, my cat, waiting for Lotus to join us again. So yeah, this is like, I have on I love sharing research, ideas, and, the different things that sort of affect us geopolitically and spiritually. These things all interest me. And Lotus has a writ that she's supposed to be updating me on today, that, she's fighting the child trafficking very actively and very hard. Her mom, Lotus is she's someone that studies the law and enforces laws within the court. So it's always interesting to hear what she has to say. And she actually comes from a long line of policy and procedure makers. Her mom actually worked for the government as well. And I think we've talked about it on the show before. She's been on so many times on the show. Okay, well, Lotus, are you coming back? Uh-oh. I may have to end this podcast, guys, because it's looking like Lotus isn't coming back, and my boy, I think, is home. I think he's home. So, oh yeah. All right. Well, everybody. I may come back on later, or I may not. I may reschedule this hour with Lotus to another time during the week, and we will continue this very interesting conversation. You can, and if you can support the content here on Porthole to Justice, it is greatly appreciated. I am on PayPal, and there's a link in Porthole to Justice on Facebook. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. And support the content, support the show, and I think that's it. I have to wrap it up. Everybody, this has been another episode of Porthole to Justice, Off the Cuff. I will be back again with Lotus Justice at a later date. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.